Tonight, we go out and play with the Nissan GT-R, play golf and hide and seek with a flying tiger. Welcome to Top Gear Australia. Now, as you know, my favourite stories are the ones that put Warren in harm's way. Well, tonight's challenge is even better. Steve's in harm's way as well.
I'm usually up for anything, but when Steve said to me he wanted me to give him a hand to play hide and seek with a tiger, I had second thoughts.
Yeah, well, that's all right, because all I needed was the use of the Army's secret testing facility and the use of Subaru's latest weapon.
If the objective isn't clear, the mission will fail. It's the mantra of any great military mind or automotive designer. That's the difference between victory and defeat, whether it be on the battlefield or the dealership floor. For more than a decade, the Subaru WRX STI has been the weapon of choice of rally champions and Ram Raiders. It used to be a raw, take-no-prisoners road warrior. But today, its former focus is missing in action. And in its place is this. Wider and lower than earlier STIs, this 2.5-litre turbocharged flat 4 is armed with 221 kilowatts and a top speed of 250 k's an hour. But despite the impressive numbers, the sharp edge that personified previous STIs has gone AWOL. I'll show you a really quick change of direction here. Turn, way, understeer. See, I'm just going straight off the road. The back doesn't want to come round. And even if I muck around with this diff, understeer. Third gear, busy. Fourth gear. Let's try this bump. Hey! Let's try a big lift off. Go. Nah, just understeer. Just shocking. Rally cars are meant to oversteer. What's with this thing? See, this is normally a second gear corner in most cars, but I'm in third because it's such a close ratio short gearbox in this thing. I suppose having so much lag means that it just begs to be driven hard. Just phenomenal grip that's almost impossible to unstick. Are pretty good too, actually. They look good. They've got these lovely big black STI calipers on it, and they actually do the job all right. I'm going up and down this runway, pounding the absolute hell out of them, and they're doing all right. I don't smell anything. Pretty good communication back to the driver. The problem is, though, is that massive understeer. In an attempt to help the car from understeering off the face of the earth, Subaru has added a computer-controlled centre differential. I can't pick it. They've gone full rear, full front, sport, sharp, intelligent, manual auto, you name it. I've even pressed the cappuccino button and it did nothing. The design of this car has been influenced by former World Rally champ Petter Solberg, who wanted a long wheelbase, short overhang car to compete against the all-conquering Citroën of Sebastian Loeb. For me, though, the greatest travesty of this car is that it's lost its distinctive Subaru note. It's actually quite civilised like the rest of the car. What Subaru has come up with, though, is a better road car. The new STI is sedate, quiet and comfortable, and quite frankly, it's a bit of a pussycat. Which brings me to this. This is the Tiger Armed Reconnaissance Helicopter and the Challenger for my little WRX. It's armed with 52 rockets, 8 Hellfire missiles and a 30mm cannon, and uses thermal and laser imaging to track and destroy its targets. All we know is that this is one mean cat, and so are the guys flying it. The Army has assigned 2 of its best for a challenge. Just outside the perimeter of the Oakey Army Aviation Base is the Lima 5 training area. About 45 kilometres away, there's a high hill that overlooks Lima 5, with several roads that lead to it. So we decided to return the STI to its rally routes by hitting the dirt and getting us up the hill, without being mauled by the tiger. Now, 2 against 1 is never a fair fight, so I had to enlist my own battle captain. Enter Lieutenant Colonel Wrongway Brown. The tiger is going to take 30 minutes to start up and go, and that gives us a much-needed head start.
Later, flyboy.
Okay, checklist. Hatchets, harnesses.
Just hang on. Think of it as a game of cat and mouse.
So, 2 teams locked in battle. One in a big, ugly, dangerous weapon, the other in a helicopter. Who will prevail? Don't ask me. All I know is, time for the news.
Well, boys, they've just recently unveiled a statue of the late, great Peter Brock at Bathurst. It's a bronze statue. They've just commissioned it, and there it is there.
Yeah, good thing too, rightly so.
Exactly right. It's at the National Motor Racing Museum, so it's the right place for such a thing, I think. But there's been a fair bit of controversy around this statue. First of all was the choice of the car. They didn't know what car to actually honour him with, and they've gone for this, the VK.
And why is that?
Well, apparently, Brocky thought this was his favourite race car. So of all his 9 victories, that was it. So it was the 84.
Yeah, he was at top of his game then too.
Exactly right. And controversy also around the livery. Back then you could have cigarette advertising. They didn't know whether they wanted to run with that for the memorial. Thankfully, they did. They've kept to the original. But the real controversy is around the fact that Brocky himself standing on the roof of the car, he never did that after he won.
Oh, please. Does it matter? I mean, where else is he going to stand? In the dirt?
Well, you could have, on the ground, you could put your arm around Brocky, take photos of him as you did that sort of thing.
Or the window halfway down, his elbow out the window.
Yeah, that's
That arming it, yeah.
And speaking of things arty, if I mentioned the term Citroën and the artist and painter and sculptor Pablo Picasso in the one sentence, what do you think they would have in common?
Nothing.
Bugger all.
Well, you're absolutely right, because they're both an acquired taste that I don't really understand. However, Citroën has brought out this. This is called the Citroën Picasso. It's a people mover.
Yeah, for what they are, they're a very good thing.
Yeah.
It's a French Tarago.
That's exactly right. Now, an artist in England, a bloke called Andy Saunders, has decided not to make the Citroën Picasso, but this Picasso's Citroën. Look at this, a wonderful cubist design based on the Citroën 2CV, which incidentally is having its 60th anniversary this year. But I thought, why should Citroën stop there just with Picasso? Why don't they make some other cars like this? The Citroën, the Citroën Da Vinci. They could make this, the Citroën Ken Doane. Or they could make this, the Citroën Andy Warhol, which I think is a rather nice touch.
Thank God you didn't design the Brock statue. That's all I can say, mate. Now, boys, Big Brother is coming. I'm talking about Intelligent Speed Adaptation, ISA for short. They're starting to trial it in Wollongong, and they're going to test it elsewhere.
Yeah, that's actually going to run in Victoria and West Australia as well as trials. And this is a system whereby you get GPS information, a bit like you do ordinarily with SatNav, and it'll tell you what speed, is of the road that you're currently on. So, as you switch from one area to another, it'll actually warn you that you've gone from a different speed zone. Now, I think this is a really good idea. Here in Australia, I think we change speed too often on the same bit of road. God forbid, going through a school zone, you've got to, it's 2:30, you've got to back off. So this is actually quite a good setup.
However, there is a sinister element to this, gentlemen, I'm telling you. 40 of the cars in that Wollongong test go further than just giving you the information. They control the car. Have a look at this. Speedo says 70, but it says 60. There's your prosthetic limb pushing very hard on the accelerator, but the computer says no, slows you down, cuts the fuel down, backs off the pace, and it's all over. Hello.
There's some complications I can see with this. I mean, imagine when you're needing to overtake a semi-trailer and this cuts in and the screen comes up and says, I can't let you do that, Dave. And then all of a sudden, bang, it's all over.
Well, the other big issue is that GPS isn't the most accurate system, as we found out a few weeks ago in the Kimberley. You've got problems whereby, you don't know what road you're on. If there's a side road that's 50 k's an hour, and of course, there's a highway going 100 k's an hour, and it can be just slightly out, and all of a sudden you're on a 100k road, it'll say, no, can't go over 50 k's an hour. All I hope is that it's not run by bloody Windows Vista, because you get that that blue screen of death, but no Control-Alt-Delete on this thing to restart the bastard.
But there are lots of issues with this, guys. I've got this sorted out. If you want to drive in a vehicle controlled by a mindless automaton, catch a bus. Now, still to come, we have the Nissan GTR, and they came second and third at Bathurst. Can they redeem themselves in our bog standard car? Now, anyone can drive fast in a high-tech racing car, but it takes real skill to do a hot lap in our bog standard car. Well, that's our story, and we're sticking to it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome James Courtney and Greg Murphy. Now, guys, first things first, congratulations. Fantastic job, Murph. Bathurst, second. Have to be pleased with that.
So I think it's. I've never been so happy to be second before in my life. It was being a race car driver and a competitive one. You don't often say things like that. But to get on the podium at Bathurst, and our team hasn't exactly had a fantastic last 12 months. So it was a huge result for us, and just to be competitive at that place is a great feeling. And I love Bathurst. It's the best racetrack we race on.
Yeah, it is awesome to watch. And, mate, from your point of view, third, but a fantastic opening stint as well. You did.
It was a crazy day for us. I think we had a 11, 12-second lead in the start, charged off, everything was going great, and then ran into some dramas, and then we went a lap down and we were able to fight back and just finish behind Murph. Hopefully next year there'll be a little bit different, roles reversed.
Didn't take him long, did it?
I want mine to be reversed with Lowndes. I don't know about you, but...
Yeah, it's getting a bit cheeky, 3 in a row, so...
It's ridiculous.
OK, well, you're coming second and third. I mean, it's tighter and tighter, that race, every year too, isn't it? It's turned into such a sprint race right at the end of 1,000 Ks.
It's getting pretty crazy, the pace that we were running through the whole race, and, with all the safety cars and everything like that, it's just... the guys in front are trying to get away from the guys behind them, and definitely a lot of action.
Now, Murph, you're famous for many things, 4 wins at Bathurst being one of them. But there was that lap, that qualifying lap that no one's been able to touch since in 2003.
Murph will tell you it's perfect. But
Is it the perfect lap?
No, well, it wasn't the perfect lap. I mean, I'm quite happy to tell you that it could have been a little bit better. We... out of the dipper, the famous dipper up the mountain there. It came out of there, and I've gone from second, and instead of going to third, I've jammed it straight into first gear. At 7,500 revs in second gear, it's gone into first, and needless to say, the tacho went fairly high, and that sort of woke me up. So it was a couple of tenths of a second. I thought I'd blown it, but it was, if you're going to miss a gear, I suppose it was a reasonable place to do it, because the run to the next braking area was quite short. So, hey, it was a special time, and I couldn't believe it myself when I did it, and it's one of those things when everything goes right, and it still lives on for another year after a few people talking themselves up, so I'm pretty happy about it.
But it wasn't a lap, it was an out-of-body experience, wasn't it? It was extraordinary.
Well, I suppose I don't really believe in all that kind of stuff, but I suppose if you're going to use that analogy, then, yeah, that's sort of the thing it was. I mean, you're definitely in the zone. I mean, I'd have never expected that was going to happen. I was looking to try and beat Bowie's time, which was a record in itself at the time, a 7.9. And, I was hoping that I was just going to pip him. But to do that time was very special. And, it's the best moment of my racing career by far.
Well, everyone thought it was special when you came up pit lane, just getting a standing ovation from everybody. It was awesome.
Geez, I'm going to start blushing.
No, you should too, you should. And James, you're driving there now, but you've done so much overseas, winning Formula Ford, world karting.
Yeah, it's been quite a crazy little career. I've been overseas, as you said, and did all that sort of stuff, but coming back here and racing at Bathurst in the touring cars here, it is amazing. Like Murph said, the competition is so tight, and I think with Formula One the way it is now, it's making the other categories a lot stronger, because a lot of the guys, because it is so reliant on money nowadays, and a lot of the time the best guys don't have the money to get them there, so the other categories are getting stronger, and it shows just in our championship with, like Murph said, 10 guys doing 2-minute 7s at Bathurst is pretty impressive. OK, boys, you're both adrenaline junkies, obviously. I mean, what do you do? What do you do to amuse yourself when you're not driving around in circles fast?
I'm actually in my element here at Bankstown Airport. I'm I love flying. I do a bit of helicopter flying. I got my helicopter licence, so I was standing out the back there earlier watching what was going on. So a bit of adrenaline junkie in that respect. But, you know, anything with an engine, we'd ride dirt bikes and, you know, do a bit of karting here and there and whatever's going, really. Wakeboarding, boats, it's anything to do with an engine, pretty much. I'm into it.
What about you, mate?
Yeah, just the same, motorbikes. Love wakeboarding and all that sort of stuff on the water. You can fall and you don't get hurt as much as motocross and things like that. But yeah, anything that gets you going.
You're recently married. How does your wife take all this?
No, Kaz is, you know, we've got a little daughter now. She's nine months, so it's, you had to think about that. It's going so fast. She's growing up so quick. But no, it's, you know, it's good. They're coming along to a couple of the races now because she's getting a bit bigger and I've never been as happy as what I am now. I think it's awesome.
Mrs. Murphy must be well used to this, mate, after all these years.
Oh, yes, she is. It's my boys, the older one in particular, who's the aficionado in the house now with the car racing. And I was very pleased to be able to bring a trophy home for him after Bathurst because I've put up with about, 18 months, 2 years of coming home after every race and him giving me the ultimatum and the you know, Dad, you know, this is just not good enough. I haven't seen a trophy for some time. What's going on? And then he sits me down and goes through all the racing on what I did wrong and why are we doing this. And he's 7 years old and he knows exactly what's going on. So.
OK, we're flying around Bathurst, we're racing touring cars, but what about road car? What was your first car, Jay?
My first car was a Datsun 1200 Ute. It's a good little thing. We put a 4AG ZE, a little supercharged 1600 engine in it, and the thing went like a rocket. My dad had a Subaru, and we used to race each other in a straight line, and used to keep up with him, up to 110, of course. But but it didn't stop as good as that thing, that's for sure.
What about you, mate?
Well, this is not a setup, not at all. We lived in different countries, of course. My first car was a Datsun 1200 Triple S.
Oh, you're cute.
Yeah, the racing
not a
one.
Ute, sedan, four-door sedan.
The sports one.
Yeah, had the two stripes on the bonnet, the whole deal, twin Delorto, 40mm carbs. What's the choice?
We're going to find these cars, put you two in, and we've got to get a race in them. OK, today. How was your day, boys?
It was awesome. I've never had that much fun in a
With your clothes on.
a little car that isn't too much on the road, but it was great on the track.
Now, of course, these guys are professional drivers. They don't just jump in a car and be stupid. You've got to test and set up and get it right first. Testing and testing, sorting it out. So let's have a look at these boys just sorting out, doing some installation laps.
This should be interesting.
Oh, he's missed the car. He's breathing it.
Now, how did he go? Let's have a look.
Look at the handbrake.
What's that about?
What did it go blurry for?
Because we're off the road, that's why. Look at him.
You scared?
Yeah, look at
OK, who wants to see the real laps?
I'm a bit nervous.
Seeing you're keen to see it, we'll do yours first, Greg.
Oh.
Now, the catch here is, boys, I want you to commentate on Greg's lap, then you get the response.
All right.
OK. Roll Mr. Murphy's lap.
Look at that.
Over for tyres. Oh, dear.
And that shift didn't sound too
I want
fast.
to use
Come
the
on,
other way.
James.
Turn one, second gear, hooks it in.
Using a lot of dirt there.
Oh, he is.
You should see bloody Courtney's lap.
Hey, easy, we're watching
He
yours.
wasn't
at
actually
moment.
on the
Oh,
dirt.
look at the concentration. Having a bit of a chat with yourself there, Murph?
A bit wide.
You are a bit wide. Oh, a bit more dirt. Up into third here. I was pretty impressed with the commitment Murph had into this turn.
The handbrake?
Yeah. Back to second. On a big understeer here.
Yeah, he's pushing back. Oh!
Cars off.
Definitely you're driving the longest lap we've seen, Murph.
No, I was having a chat with himself again. Into the chicane.
I braked for that.
It's
No.
pretty risky, that one. He is
Okay.
where the commitment was second to none from Murph. Look at that. Look at him. Concentration. Hooks it in. Second gear.
I couldn't see over the cameras that were mounted on the window.
Oh, is that the excuse? Come on. This is the exciting part. Here we go. Here we go. Watch this. Oh, yeah, Murph. That looked pretty
That was a
clean.
quiet
That was
one.
pretty
That was
clean.
a quiet one, that one.
They crashed it, yeah.
Held himself together.
OK, roll the next one. Murph, over to you.
All right, up to turn one. This is quite tricky. It's very tight. All focused. Talk to yourself, talk to yourself.
Look at the tongue again.
Yeah, I wish you'd keep it in.
I need a full face helmet.
And now he hit the tyres too, by the way.
Oh, easy.
Oh, did he? That's very wide.
How's that?
Now, when we arrived, the Stig had been very good. He hadn't used any grass. By the time we left, there was crap and corruption everywhere. Oh, he's gone deep. Taily, so this is tricky, this corner onto the straight. Oh, tidy. No, that's clean.
Half a wheel off there.
Here's a little bit of road.
Having a chat with myself.
He's not happy with himself.
We had a lot of time to think down into that last turn.
Arm on the windowsill. What were you listening to, radio-wise?
I think it's Nova.
Focused. I want to see an outside shot
Look at
here.
that finger. What's that all about?
Oh,
I love the grass.
Yeah, through the chicane. How much grass did he use?
Oh,
most of it.
Oh!
It's tidy. It's clean. I'm a bit worried. I'm worried.
OK, guys, what did you think of the track?
I thought it was a great little circuit.
Not too bad at all. It's pretty challenging, especially in that little buzz box.
Especially that chicane down the street and that thing.
It's pretty hard, that chicane.
Just a lift.
Flat and forth.
Yeah. OK.
I'm very nervous.
Greg Murphy.
I'm very nervous.
Your time.
I'm nervous too.
I just want to be faster than James Morrison.
It'll be a close run thing. OK. Greg Murphy, you did it in a 1 minute.
You're in the right minute.
23.60.
Oh, he's at the gap.
Now, as you can see, we've got a special racing drivers section. It's only fair. And I've left a gap.
It's not quite
There's
enough room for
room
mine,
above
Charlie.
and there's room below.
I don't know. I want to find out,
I've been
though. It's
calm
killing me.
at the start of Bathurst. I've been
Yeah.
calmer.
I'm surprised you can't hear my heart beating through the mic here.
200 beats a minute.
You guys don't understand how competitive we
My
are.
hands are all sweaty and all.
Oh, the power.
Come on, Charlie.
OK, James. You did it in 1 minute, 23 point... This is ridiculous. 5-3. 7/100ths of a second. Please thank James Courtney, Greg Murphy.
Aren't they fantastic sports? There was only a 15th in it. But now it's time to acknowledge those addle-pated apes of the automotive industry with What Were They Thinking? Steve, tonight we're going to play the What Were They Thinking game. You got the idea of this so far?
Yeah, OK, yep.
OK, now this is based on the selections made by Wheels magazine over the years for Car of the Year, which is a questionable thing. I have with me a pack of cards, or a pack of cars, and I'd like you to pick a car, any car, and it will be a Wheels Car of the Year.
The Renault 12.
Ah, the Renault 12. The very few cars you find that are actually rusting before you put the key in the door at the showroom. But it was available in a really horrible lilac colour that Renault tried to flog as being the safest colour in the world. So if you own one like that, not only were you safe, you were colourblind as well. Have a try this.
Use. Ah, the Mitsubishi Nimbus.
Ah,
This is the urban assault vehicle.
that's a truly horrible thing. That's really what they call an oxymoron. It's the words made out of nimble and bus. How many nimble buses have you ever seen?
Righto. Ah, on 3 occasions, the award was withheld. No car was crap enough. Right. There's that one. Very good. Ah, the Chimera, 1982.
Now, I have to say that the Chimera, really,
It's shithouse.
You're right, it's shithouse.
Shithouse,
Yeah, right.
yeah. Yep. Another one there. Put that there. All right, what do we got here? Ah, I know this. In 1991, it was a split decision between the Honda NSX and its absolute identical twin brother, the Nissan Pulsar. What a hard decision that is. Wow.
Wheels magazine, what were they thinking?
that when you become a black belt in karate, you have to register your hands as a lethal weapon. Well, when you buy one of these things, a Nissan GTR, you have to sign the same registration form.
This could easily be a car that comes straight from the hard drive of some high-tech video game. It's a digital, data-infused sensory overload, dripping with parlour tricks and electronic treats.
So when it came to driving it, I thought I'd do some intensive research. The GTR really is a gizmotronic super show. And with all the technology on board, you can see why I'd be worried about it being more like a digital interpretation of the real thing than actually having the emotion of driving a fast car.
On paper, the GTR seems like a cyber circus, robotic and cold, too clinical to deliver the sensation of a true supercar. But this car has a dark secret, and it's not about to give it up easily.
Okay, so the story goes something like this. From day one, Nissan had this car in mind to beat the 911 Turbo around the famous Nürburgring track in Germany. Now, they take this car to 10 besquillion laps of Nürburgring in testing and finally proclaim to the world that they've actually not only beaten the 911 Turbo, but beaten its bigger motorsport brother, the GT2.
And from that, Nissan claimed to have created a supercar killer. A ninja that prowls the streets at night, hunting down its prey and leaving a trail of bolts in its wake. It's even claimed that Nissan bought a 911 Turbo just so they could slice it up and find ways to beat it. But the more I think about it, the more it bugs me. Something just doesn't add up.
How can a car that's heavier, with less power, with smaller tyres, and have a higher centre of gravity actually beat something like a Porsche GT2? It just doesn't add up. There's more to this story than we probably know.
Beneath the stealth-like skin of this $150,000 automotive samurai is a twin-turbo 3.8-litre V6 with 353 kilowatts. But there are rumours it's actually more powerful than Nissan is suggesting, and it's taken years to conjure and refine all this marvellous wizardry. Its LCD computer display delivers the sort of telemetry that fighter pilots would use. Things like G-force and yaw rates. And it's this information the computer uses to constantly adjust the suspension and all-wheel drive system.
Yes, mate, it's a real GTR. That's the real problem with having one of these cars. It's the absolute doof-doof magnet of the world. You just got every bloke with a subwoofer or a fiberglass wing wanting to run you at every set of lights. Really got to love manga cartoons to love the look of this thing, though, I've got to say. It looks a bit like a flattened shark or a catfish or some sort of bottom-dwelling fish.
So, if this is Godzilla reprised, where is the monster hiding? I needed a stretch of road, private, controlled, and, like the Nürburgring, closed to the public, so I could drive this car and discover some truths. I had a feeling tomorrow was going to be a very interesting day. This is the mid-north coast. Out here, there's a 13-kilometre stretch of brand new freeway. Running parallel to the old Pacific Highway, this piece of concrete is the latest stage of an ongoing upgrade. And today, it's all mine.
Oh. Look at that. That is If you're looking for bang for your buck, this car is without peer. You've got to remember, it's cheaper than an M3, but it goes faster than a Ferrari. I mean, I really think the key to the success of this car is that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Not that the parts are bad or anything, but it's so rare that the mechanical and electronic sides of things mesh so seamlessly. And that's what I reckon makes this one of the world's greatest cars. There is one aspect of this car that's just like a computer game, and that's this lateral G page. It's actually my favourite page. Once you've actually got 1G out of it, say, the next time round, you want to beat your high score. So you want to see if you can do 1.2G. Yes, you get a red light when you hit 1G. That's great. For the record, this car didn't come from Nissan. The International Motor Group imported it and just happened to leave the keys in it. Convenient? Yes. But it also means it's not speed limited either, which is why I could clock 250 k's plus. This car really is defiant. It defies the economist because how the hell can you get so much performance for only 150 or 60 grand? It defies the laws of physics, as it would seem, with a car that's got less power and more weight than its opposition, yet it goes around a racetrack faster than it's supposed to. And it really does defy the critics because this car is not the cold, clinical, robotic experience you think it would be. It's actually an organic, natural, mechanical car. It feels wonderful to drive. I just love it. This car is absolutely brilliant. It's the supercar for the 21st century.
Well, we know how fast it went because we saw it stigged in the first episode. Let's remind ourselves of the lap. Look at the traction on that thing. It does jump off the line, doesn't it?
Four-wheel drive will do that for you every time.
Now, this is the key. Tippy-toeing over the top. Will it understeer onto the straight?
See, even the Stig's using paddles.
All right.
And this is the real tricky bit. To the line.
Looks so stable. Fabulous direction change and across the line. Now, as you can see, it did a very good, yes, I know it was speed limited, but it did a very good time, a 109.46. But that still didn't help us with the eternal battle between Nissan and Porsche over which is faster.
Not only do Nissan think they can beat the 911 Turbo, but they think they can beat its bigger brother, the motorsport brother, the GT2.
Dreaming. Anyway, let's find out for ourselves. Now, some say that if the government can't jumpstart the economy, they're going to ask him to hotwire it for them. Others believe that he's always in the front row of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, because it's a drag show. All we know is he's the Stig. Off the line smoothly.
No wheel spin, awesome.
Yeah, lovely car control by the Stig. He's doing very nicely here. Delicate underbrakes, misses the dirt entirely.
Listen to it, going up to Clarkson Corner.
That thing has seriously got some mumbo, trying to get it to the ground. Those huge tyres are so wide they almost meet in the middle, up and over the top. Balancing, there's a Stig's eye view. Into 04, this really matters.
How wide does he go? Pretty wide, a lot of grunt, forced him right to the edge.
Yeah, now look, you can see even with the naked eye how fast he's going down towards the chicane. Does he lift?
Oh,
no.
yeah. Too much pace, he had to lift there.
Now, this thing's got tremendous brakes. You watch it just wash the speed off down into 06. Turns in nice and neatly. No hint of understeer, using every little bit of the road he can.
Oh, beautiful job.
He's working this very hard, Steve. Through the bus stop, last turn, out to the edge of the circuit, pedal down, and across the line in the Porsche GT2. This is a momentous occasion. It's a big night for speed, I can tell you. You might remember this to tell your grandchildren. You don't need to move the Nissan GTR because we're going way above it. We are going to the top. We have a new Top Gear Australia circuit record, 106.92.
Absolutely awesome.
What I say?
You all right, Charlie? Nissan, you know what to do. Give us a car without a bloody speed limiter so we can sort this thing out once and for all.
We're waiting. Now, back to Steve and Warren versus the Army. Now, you might think it's a bit unfair because that helicopter's got guided missiles. But old Stevie here is guiding a missile of his own.
When we left you last, Steve and I had just picked a fight with a tiger. Our mission was to evade the attack helicopter and safely make it to the high hill overlooking the Army's Lima 5 training sector. And our prospects were looking good. We were tearing down the road in the Rex at 100 clicks and the chopper hadn't even started its engines. It was going to take these guys around half an hour before they were actually airborne. In that time, I reckoned that Steve and I would cover about 3/4 of our 45-kilometre dash. That was, of course, as long as we didn't get lost.
Now, I'm just trying to find my compass. Bear with me.
Your compass?
My compass.
What?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just trying to find...
You mean that note? There's a map here. What's this crap?
I've got the map, but I'm just trying to find my compass.
Back at the base, the Tiger's rotors were finally turning, and so was the course of this mission. We hit the dirt as the Tiger hit the air.
Crosswind 12 knots from the left, runway 27, clear for takeoff, please, left turn.
They say a good soldier always keeps a cool head in combat, so we used our noggins and came up with a clever plan to foil the Tiger's thermal imaging camera.
Alfoil hats. Why are we wearing alfoil hats?
This is the way to evade the infrared wars. Come on.
Foil doesn't do infrared.
Yes, it does.
Foil's radar. Why are we wearing foil hats?
Look,
If that didn't work, we had another plan to avoid getting iced by the Tiger's heat-seeking weapon system.
what's your big idea then?
I've got a great idea. That thing's got so much heat-seeking stuff in it. Ice. A bag of ice.
Ice.
Ice?
You're going to invade Australia with an esky.
No, you're going to invade Australia wearing a foil hat.
It's better than ice.
You didn't need a degree to work out the Tiger would soon be landing on our roof. We knew there was a forest some distance ahead, and our brilliant plan was that the tree line would provide the cover we needed to avoid the Tiger's claws. But how far that forest was, we weren't exactly sure.
Nice solid track on him.
He's behind us.
Not for long.
We really were a pair of geniuses.
Ah, there he goes. Overshot us. Watch this. Cop that, dude. Where's he gone?
I don't know. Where are we going?
Back this way.
Now, if you think Steve and I are losing the battle, you're probably right. The Tiger's on the fast track towards us, and time is running out. The Tiger was toying with us, and we were the helpless prey. We had to disappear, and of course, we did it in a cloud of dust.
Doing something crazy.
I can't see anything. Is this good?
This is good. This is good. This is one of the tactics. Just relax. You won't be able to find us.
Excellent. Well, you know, just pour missiles into a big cloud of dust with you.
It was now a game of cat and mouse. The cat, the Tiger, prowling along the treetops, and our little Rex, the rat, cowering beneath the canopy. The blast of rotors behind us, we made a final charge for the summit. Then something completely unexpected. Clear skies. Had we escaped the eye of the tiger?
Aha! Good job, Battle Captain. I reckon we've lost him.
I'm pretty happy with that. I can't believe it. That's the most extraordinary thing. So you're clever driving through the trees, and your dust storm. I reckon you did a pretty damn good job. Look at this, how beautiful is that?
Well, all I can say is I'm glad the army prevailed. I'd hate to think of you two being our last line of defence.
Well, I thought I did all right, considering, you know, I was sort of doing things in the Anzac tradition, or maybe the Charge of the Light Brigade at least, anyway. So.
But how did you find all the new technology with a machine like that?
Well, the dip's really good.
Not you, I'm talking to him. The pilot, Captain Hamish Felton Taylor. It must have been good practice, at least, chasing these loonies around in
Oh,
this.
look, Charlie, Army's always looking for volunteers for mobile targets. You know, it makes me more excited.
What were you doing, picking him as your navigator?
Well, I figured that if we didn't know where the hell we were going, they wouldn't know where to look for us.
Well, did you know where he was going?
We thought we were going to catch them or lose them there at one stage, but then we realised they were lost again and they were actually trying to look for the right track.
See? There's method in my madness.
But chasing this thing around the WRX, useful practice.
Oh, great training benefit for us, actually, Charlie. It was good fun.
Well, there you go. Great news. We're in good shape. Should the Japanese start raining WRXs down on Darwin, we've actually got it covered. Captain Hamish Felton Taylor, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Coming up after the break, petrol versus diesel, and who can waste the most fastest. Warren and I decided to play a few holes of golf. So we got 2 VW Golfs and burnt some holes in the ozone layer.
The basic premise is a fuel challenge. 2 VW Golfs, diesel versus petrol. And we have to drive from Sydney to Wollongong with some fuel-sucking challenges along the way. It's obvious to me that diesels are the way to go, but of course, Charlie disagrees.
I've chosen the petrol car, the FSI Pacific, because it has direct injection, which hopefully will help fuel economy. It's got 110 kilowatts of power and 200 newton metres of torque.
I'm driving the Golf Pacific TDI, the diesel version. I have less power, but only just at 103 kilowatts. But I have heaps more torque with 320 newton metres. So I'll have to tread lightly on the pedal or I'll lose all my juice in acceleration.
Mate, I'm 5 cents a litre in front of you already. This fuel's so much cheaper.
Yeah, but Charlie, the day is young. I mean, don't forget, by the end of the day, I'll be well in front.
Mate, the day is long, and by the end of the day, you'll be so far behind, lugging along that little diesel, you won't see me for dust.
This is not like some old bus. It isn't like a double-decker bus. Diesel's a crackerjack nowadays.
Sure.
You watch.
The 4-cylinder automatic. One of the world's great gifts to motoring.
I do like this little car, but then again, I do like diesels.
I like petrol, mate. I like revs and horsepower. Warren, well, he's a diesel kind of guy. Just kind of looks diesel.
Rudolph Diesel would be very, very happy to see all his work culminate in a little car like this.
There are only 3 things you can be certain of in life: death, taxes and tolls. We got any E-tags in these things?
Mate, there are no E-tags in here, and I don't have any cash either.
Don't worry, mate, I got cash. I'll pay for you.
What a very kind gent you are, Charlie. Thanks, mate. Very kind.
Well, there might only be 3 certainties in life, but I can tell you for nothing, helping out Warren the Practical Joker ain't one of them. It's payback time. Thanks, mate.
Come on, Charlie.
Thanks, mate. Have a good one.
Nope, that's the wrong window. Thanks, mate. He paid for me. The guy, did he not pay for me?
Cruel, I know. But the longer he's held up there, trying to get through the toll, the more fuel he's going to use.
Not pay for me? You just can't argue with these people. But luckily, the bloke recognised me off the telly.
I just works for a top
Oh, I am sorry. He's still there.
After using my celebrity appeal to get out of jail, I was a free man. I will kill him. Thanks a lot. Charlie, you mongrel!
Stitch me right up.
Just think of how much fuel you used idling away explaining yourself, mate.
Charlie! The fight was turning out to be anything but fair. The first challenge was to level the playing field.
There is only one man with the correct qualifications for this particular test.
And it isn't you. Some say he gargles every morning with diesel. Others say he uses petrol for cologne. All we know is he's the Sting. Now that is petrol power. Oh, look at that. That's fair. Look at that. It's nimble as you like.
Well, it should be.
Come on, boy! Oh! 23.68.
23.68. OK, now it's my little diesel gun. He's off!
Oh! Oh, the smoke! Come on, son.
Whoa! He's giving it some. What do you get?
I don't believe it. 21.7. Oh, that's worse than losing.
That's fantastic. That means that the diesel is faster than the petrol car.
Mate, this is about economy, not speed.
Wait a minute.
It was definitely time to move on. With just under 50 clicks on the trip meter, the needle hadn't really moved much. We came up with a concrete plan to make these things drink a bit faster. A 400-kilo plan. It's going to be like a full load of passengers. Talk about the doggone lino, mate. We'll be lucky the front wheels are on the ground.
Hey, Charlie.
Yes, mate.
If someone asks you your golf handicap, you can say 400 kilos.
I'd say it was you, actually.
You idiot.
With the weight of the boot around our ankles like a full nappy, we had still managed to travel 130 kilometres. Charlie was chewing through the fuel and the stress was getting to him.
Maybe a minute, mate.
So during a pit stop, I thought I'd help by reducing some of the pressure. Lower tyre pressure equals higher fuel consumption, which equals revenge.
Very good. That's better.
Good, mate.
Yeah.
The next challenge would really seek to sap the sauce.
How much fuel have you gone through?
Oh, a quarter of a tank already.
Oh, it's music to my ears, Charlie.
Call us crazy, but in the name of science, we've decided to drive down, turn around and then head back up one of the steepest stretches of road along the south coast, the notorious Bulli Pass. Loaded up with 400 kilos of cement is one thing, but for some real fuel liposuction, you've got to get creative. So, windows down and air conditioning switched to Antarctic.
Come on, little car.
I'm freezing to death. This is freezing.
It's your stupid idea.
It's all part of the experiment.
I'd like to do an experiment on you.
While the sun headed west, our fuel gauges headed south. It was time to settle the score.
Well, Charlie, moment of truth.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, well, we've done a lot. We've got a boot full of cement. Some of us have less air in their tyres than others.
You bastard! That's why this was loose as a goose going down the mountain.
Mate, revenge is a meal best served cold. The pressure's on now, Charlie. So what did you get?
What did you get?
No, what did you get?
What did you get?
I asked you first.
Cheating
What
bastard.
did you get?
Not much. Hardly any.
Well, Charlie, both these cars did 188 kilometres, and at the end of it, there was only $5 difference.
Yeah, mate, but $5. The diesel is $2.5 grand dearer, so you'd have to do that trip 500 times to get your dough back.
Yeah, but the Stig was faster in the diesel.
Yeah, but that was only for the first couple of laps because the diesel's got a turbocharger on it. Once the turbo heated up, the diesel and the petrol were knocking out pretty consistent time.
OK, Charlie, so if you were forced at bayonet point to choose either the petrol or the diesel Golf, what would you choose?
The diesel. Not because it's more powerful, but because I reckon it'll have a better resale value and I could flog it and buy something interesting with the money. Now, deliberately wasting fuel, taking on a $40 million attack helicopter. Could we possibly be that stupid next week?
Next week, the exciting XF. The ultimate Aussie drive. And it's on again, red versus blue.
Red versus blue round 2. See you there!
Top Gear fans will find a range of merchandise from the UK series, including DVDs, CDs and books at Dymocks and JB Hi-Fi.